People think money cures loneliness. Chike knew that was a lie the night he lay in a glass suit above the Atlantic, watching waves hit black sand while his girlfriend laughed at a phone screen across the room. He rolled over. Amaka, he said softly, can we talk? She didn't look up. 1 second, baby. I'm live. Her ring light threw a bright circle on her face. Comments floated, hearts leapt. She grinned and blew a kiss to strangers. The sound of the soft pushed against the glass like a hand that wanted in. Chike sat up. He was 34, tall, dark-skinned, with the calm posture of a man who had built things with his own hands. Roads, a school block in Aja, a bridge covered that made traffic easier for traders. He owned a construction company and had worked his way up from site engineer to CEO. The result was his peace offering: 2 weeks in a luxury beach place in Lagos, infinity pools and soft towels, and a chef who plated meals like art. Amaka had said he never made time for her. He believed her. He planned this. But even here, they were miles apart. Can we eat downstairs? He asked when she ended the light. There's music tonight. Amaka stretched, perfect and bored. Order up. I'm tired. He ordered. When the food arrived, a young woman stepped in behind the door with the tray. She wore a black apron and her name tag read Sewa. She had caramel brown skin, almond eyes, and neat braids pulled back into a bun. She lifted the tray with steady hands. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma, she said. Amaka barely nodded. Place it there. And please, next time, tell the chef no pepper. Last night almost finished me. Shewa smiled. Yes, ma. Today's is mine. She set down the plate. Seafood jollof for Amaka, grilled fish and plantain for Chike. Amaka forked rice, chewed twice, and frowned. This is cold. Do people pay this much money to eat cold food? I'm sorry, ma, Shewa said. I can get a fresh one. Do that, and hurry. I don't like delay. Chike felt his chest tighten. It's fine, he said. Let me try mine first. Amaka waved a manicured hand. You always manage. I don't. Please, take it and bring something decent. Shewa nodded and lifted the plate again. Her face was still, but her fingers trembled around the edge of the porcelain. Please, Chike added, we are sorry for the trouble. She met his eyes for a second and then lowered them. No problem, sir. After she left, he turned to Amaka. You didn't need to talk to her like that. Amaka scoffed. Talk to who? Baby, this is service. I can talk how I want. If they don't like it, they can go and learn. He looked at the door she had gone through. He could still see her eyes in his mind, bright, tired, soft. The next morning, he went down to the restaurant before Amaka woke. He wanted quiet. He wanted to watch the ocean and drink coffee that didn't come with a comment section. The place was all glass and wood, palm fronds nodding outside. Shawa moved between tables with a small pad and a pen tucked behind her ear. When she reached him, she smiled. Good morning, sir. Good morning, he said. Coffee? Black. And pancakes, please. Anything else? Your name is Shewa, right? She nodded. Yes, sir. Thank you for last night. I'm sorry. She shrugged. I see worse. It's not you I blame. Still, he said, I'm sorry. When she bought the coffee, he saw a small notepad sticking out of her apron pocket. He laughed. We are twins. She looked puzzled until he pulled a small black notebook from his own pocket. It was where he sketched tight ideas and wrote what he didn't want to forget. He flipped a page to show a rough drawing of a drainage line. She raised a brow, amused. You plan? She asked. I build, he said. Construction. Roads mostly. Sometimes schools. Ah, he said, eyes brightening. So you're the reason people complain about traffic at night. He laughed for real then. Guilty. She placed the coffee gently. I used to like drawing buildings, she said in a low voice, almost to herself. But life has its plan. What did you want to study? Architecture, she said. I did 1 year. My father fell sick. I had to stop, but God is there. He looked at her hands, the way her pen balanced between fingers, the way her gaze settled on things like she was measuring them. He wanted to ask more, but another table called, and she went. He finished breakfast and took a long walk on the beach. He thought about steel and sand and decisions. He thought about love and how loyalty could turn into fear of change if you let it. The days rolled. He and Shewa kept meeting, by accident at first, and then not so by accident. In the shuttle when rain started and she sat near the door to avoid spilling someone's soup. By the staff side gate, when he lost his way and she pointed him back with a laugh. At dusk, when she took a break and sat alone, sketching shells and palm leaves, while the light melted into gold. Why shells? He asked one evening. They look fragile, she said, but they are houses. They carry whole lives. Also, they listen to the sea. He felt something in him shift. Amaka noticed he was quiet, but didn't ask why. She filled her days with sunlight and soft content pictures by the pool, videos in the spa, voice notes to a friend about a bag she wanted. At dinner, she asked for money for new hair, then a dress, then a bracelet she had seen on a Lagos page. One night, when he said, maybe later, she frowned like he was a strange man. You brought me here to stress me? I brought you here to be with you. I'm here, she said, as if her body in the room counted as love. When she stormed out to take another call, he stood on the balcony and watched the water roll like a chest breathing in his sleep. He thought of how easy it was to build a bridge between 2 points on a drawing and how hard it was to build one between two people who had stopped meeting in the middle. The next day, he saw Shewa near the service corridor, fixing a loose strap on a crate. No makeup, no filter, no corners turned towards an audience. Just a woman trying to get through a shift with care. He walked up and held the crate so she could tie the strap. Thank you, sir, she said, a little breathless. Chike, he said. She paused. I can't call you that. Then call me sir. And then Chike in your mind, he said, and she laughed. She finished the knot. Their fingers brushed. He felt heat shoot through him like a warning, and a promise. He stepped back. I shouldn't, he began. You shouldn't, she said softly. I shouldn't too. He nodded. But I want to be near you. To talk, that's all. That's never all, she said. But I understand. That evening, Amaka had friends over at the cabana. The music was loud and the laughter louder. When one of them joked that Chike was too serious to be reached, Amaka giggled and didn't defend him. He left early and walked down to the far quiet part of the beach where the water ran dark and long. Shewa stood there, sandals in hand, feet in the foam. You again, she said. Me again, he said. They walked without speaking for a while. The moon laid a thin road on the water. At last, he said, I'm with someone. You saw, you know, but I feel like I'm alone. I've been alone for a long time. I did not notice until now. Notice now, she said. Don't wait until your life is one long apology to yourself. He looked at her. You speak like someone twice your age. I'm the first of four, she said. Age comes fast when the house depends on you. He wanted to hold her hand, but he didn't. He wanted to kiss her, but he didn't. He did the hardest thing. He kept walking by her side. The resort days ended up feeling both too long and too short. On the last morning, Amaka asked for one more transfer and rolled her eyes when he said no. Okay, she said with a sharp smile. Maybe you're not the man I thought. Maybe I'm not the man I thought either, he said, and the words surprised him. He packed in silence. Before the shuttle to the airport, he found Shewa near the kitchen door. She stood with a tray, ready to start the lunch rush. Thank you, he said. For what? She asked. For reminding me what I want, he said. Not what I can buy. She shifted her weight, eyes on the tray. I don't want to be the reason you fight with her. You are not, he said. We were over before you and I said hello. He took out a card, then stopped. If I give you this, it will have weight. I don't want to make your life harder at work. She looked at him for a long moment, Then she reached inside her apron and pulled out a notebook. She tore a page and wrote a number quickly. "This is a phone that is off most nights," she said with a faint smile. "If you call, call with clear mind, not with hurt." He took the paper like it was glass. Back in Lagos, the city swallowed him with noise. Horns on Third Mainland, the smell of diesel and tea, the gold evening light on concrete. He went to his office. He did payroll. He checked site photos. He tried not to call. He lasted 2 days. He called on the third. His voice was steady. "Sewa, Chike." They began small. Calls at night, after her shift. He learned she loved old Nollywood soundtracks and kept a jar of shells under her bed. She learned he still visited his mother in Enugu once a month and sent textbooks to a school he had built. They did not rush. They did not pretend. There were no walls. He ended things with Amaka the same week. He wasn't loud. She called him ungrateful. She blocked him on everything, then unblocked him to send a long voice note about how he would never find someone like her. He hoped she was right. 3 weeks later, he asked Shewa to meet him in a quiet cafe off Admiralty Way. She arrived in a plain dress, braids in a simple bun, eyes as clear as the morning. He stood when she came in. "I can't give you a fairy tale," he said, hands open, "but I can give you the truth. I want to know you slowly. I want to see where this goes. And I want to help you return to school. Not because I need to buy your love, because I respect your mind." She studied him. "And if I say no to the school help, I'll still be here," he said. "I'll still want to walks and coffee and to hear you talk about shells." Her mouth softened. "Okay," she said, "we will try." Trying turned into a rhythm. Sunday walks at Freedom Park, suya shared in a car while rain wrote on the windscreen. He visited her family in Ibadan, quietly bringing nothing flashy, just food, a small bag of books for her siblings, a careful greeting for her mother. He asked her what kind of buildings she wanted to design. She said, "Schools with shade." He said, "I know how to pour concrete that stays cool." Months later, they went back to the resort as guests on a short weekend when the city felt heavy and they needed the smell of salt. They stood barefoot where they had once walked side by side, afraid to touch. "Do you remember," he asked, "when you told me not to leave a long apology?" She nodded, smiling into the wind. "Yes, thank you for saving me from that." She looked up at him, eyes shining. "You saved yourself, Chike. I only reminded you of your own voice." He took her hand, then, and did not let go. The waves went on. The sky stretched wide over Lagos, flood and loud and generous. And somewhere, on a table by a window, two notebooks lay open, one full of roads, one full of shells, each page a little closer to the other.